What's up, folks? This is the Savage Scientist Ed, and in this video we're going to talk about ports and protocols. So if you're going for your CCNA, Network Plus, getting into web design, web programming, network administration, then this topic or this will be important for you to know. So first of all, we're going to start off with ports. There are two types of ports: physical and logical. So our physical port is normally very easy to point out on networking equipment because you plug in your Ethernet cable into one of these Ethernet ports or the port. So this is sometimes called the jack or Ethernet port, and it creates an end-to-end connection between two Ethernet devices. So let's draw that on the board. So we have our two devices, and we'll call this one our source, and this one will be our destination. And this will be our cable running between these two. And we're going to look at this as our connection. Our connection will have important data in a data structure, and we'll just call that our connection. Data structure. So this is important. So we're going to have our IP address for the source will be, let's say, 192.50.55.2. And our destination IP address will be 192.50.55.3. So that information will be stored in our data structure. 192.50.55.2, and our destination IP address will be stored also. 192.50.55.3. So that information is important because you can look at this as if you get into an airplane and let's say you've taken a flight and you have a layover. When you get to the place where you have your layover, like let's say you're flying from Los Angeles to New Orleans, layover in Chicago. When you land in Chicago, you have to transfer or go to a different part of the airport, normally identified as a gate. So let's say you got to go into gate 26. So when your plane come in, you're going to come in and you're going to have to go find that gate. So when you get there, that's where you're going to wait. So it's just like you walking around with a ticket in your pocket. You have a source, destination, and gate number. That is all you need to get to New Orleans from Chicago. So that is kind of the same thing happening here with our connection. So we're going to have something called a protocol attached to our IP address. So that's where our logical port comes in at. So let me change the color here to yellow. So our logical port would be 80. That is for HTTP traffic, or worldwide web traffic goes across port 80. So let's say we connecting to the internet, and let's say www.yahoo.com. This part is going to be converted into an IP address. So let's just randomly say Yahoo IP address is 120.50.21.63. And you will see at the end of this a colon and 80. You normally don't have to do this because www tells the browser that we're using port 80. So let's say that this is another service that's running. So you might see something like 21. So that means that we are actually going to tell the Yahoo web server that we want port 21. So guess what that means? This port is telling us a service that's running or listening on our server. So let's take a look at some of these numbers. So we know port 80 is HTTP. Port 443 is HTTPS. And what we just used, 21 is FTP. And 22 will be SSH. So these are what we call services running on our network. So if you do a port scan, it's going to check to see if any of these ports are in a listening state. And if it's in a listening state, that means that we could attack it with our tools. And hopefully we could get in and find some vulnerabilities. So that's where the hacking part comes in, and also the people that might want to use this for good use. If you wanna watch the web, yes, but that server might also be running FTP. So that means that instead of going to the web, you could also hit it for FTP traffic, and you probably could browse the file structure on that server. Now I'm getting a little too deep into this video. It's supposed to be simple, but as you can see, ports are important. It tells you what you're gonna do with that IP address. So this is the Savage Scientist Ed with another quick video. Till I make my next video, peace out.